25% of the factories that a particular company is sourcing from. So let's say those 80% are the remaining pool you need to look after. So you have a great saving in this concept.
Definitely, it will be a good impact in Bangladesh industry. I will come to you again after another break. প্রিয় দর্শক, আমাদের সাথে আছেন ক্রিশ্চিয়ান এভার্ড, তিনি ফরেন ট্রেড অ্যাসোসিয়েশন ইউরোপের তার মহাপরিচালক। আমাদের সাথে আছেন বাংলাদেশ প্রতিনিধি ট্রেড ইনসাইডার। তাদের কাছে আরও শুনবো, তবে আরেকটি বিরতির পর। প্রিয় দর্শক, ফিরে এলাম অর্থ সংলাপে, ফিরে এলাম ইউতে বাংলাদেশের বাণিজ্য নিয়ে সংলাপে, যেখানে কমপ্লায়েন্স আছে, যেখানে ভবিষ্যতের বাংলাদেশের কি হতে পারে সেটা নিয়েও অবজারভেশন আছে। কারণ আমাদের সাথে আছেন এফটিএ, ফরেন ট্রেড অ্যাসোসিয়েশন অফ ইউরোপ, তার মহাপরিচালক জনাব ক্রিশ্চিয়ান এভার্ড, এবং সাথে আছেন বাংলাদেশ প্রতিনিধি ড্যানিয়েল স্যাডল। আই শুড গো টু অ্যাগেন মিস্টার প্রাইস is a very critical issue. Always we hear complaint from the entrepreneurs, and some recently other social stakeholders also say the minimum price and maximum compliance is contradictory. Price is a very big barrier for having compliance. Do you think so?
Yes and no. Generally my observation, and I'm over the last 15 years in the compliance business, is you need to look at how compliant or non-compliant a producer is today. If you basically meet the requirements of your legal framework, of your labor law, you should really not have any additional cost other than really going through an audit. If you happen to be an entrepreneur that has somehow missed to pay the right sort of minimum compensation or the overtime rates at the appropriate premiums, then you will have an extra expense, although this really has nothing to do with the compliance aspect itself, but you have had underpaid in the past, and then the expense will be higher.
Daniel, I think you met many friends who also complained to you the minimum price, no pricing. What is your observation? What is your suggestion to your friends? How can they develop them to get better price?
Well, you see, we are always talking about productivity and being efficient. And in the long run, if I would be a brand, I would ask myself the question, do I pay a price per piece, like for a shirt or for a pants? Or do I pay a price for the time I'm engaging a factory? And the more the process is optimized in the factory, the more compliant I am, the more my output will be, the more efficient I will be. And I think in the future, Kazi, you will not ask anymore price per piece, you will say per minute. How much time do I engage a factory and what is their output per minute? And according to that, the factories who comply with the standards and are efficient will have good earnings and the others won't. And here is the big question for me. Where will be Bangladesh? Will it be a sourcing hub for Europe and US and people who want compliant goods? Then I need to be compliant, or will I just try to be cheap and might become the sweatshop for India and China?
I should come to Evard. Christian, another critical issue. FTA is a different FTA, foreign trade, free trade agreement. I think there is a fear factor in Bangladesh. People, entrepreneurs and some other stakeholders are afraid of that. If Vietnam get FTA, if India get FTA, Bangladesh will be in trouble. What is your observation?
Well, you may have heard that the sort of the general negotiations for a free trade agreement between the European Commission and Vietnam have been concluded. We were, as the FTA, very actively involved in those negotiations, trying to make sure that the interests of our members are being observed, and there is one aspect we are not very happy about, and this is the complexity about the rules of origin. And I think this is something that will make it very hard for exporters and importers alike. When you look at India, yes, there have been initial talks regarding a free trade agreement, but I think currently the sort of government of Mr. Modi, I think, is very busy on many fronts.
issues, yeah.
As such, I do not see a short-term sort of progress with the FTA. We would like to see it, but I think at the moment we will have to need and wait. On the other side, when you look at an FTA, it's very often a two-way street. And when I look at the current development of Bangladesh, when I look at the development, when I look at the success case of Bangladesh, and let me just take the opportunity to show we published our first FTA focus on Bangladesh, raising the question whether it is a success story, which we clearly support. I believe the numbers, the export growth, the reduction in poverty really speak for itself. How you have been progressed, and if I just listen to our buyers and to our members, I see the growth continue and reaching the numbers that we mentioned before, somewhere between 40-50 billion US in terms of revenue for the RMG sector by the end of 2020.
Fantastic. I think you're very optimistic about Bangladesh, and I should congratulate you, and I have to thank you for that. In a very short time, you have taken us to many issues and very clearly. Thank you, Mr. Evert, and thank you, Mr. Daniel, for attending us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
প্রিয় দর্শক, আমাদের সাথে এতক্ষণ ছিলেন ক্রিশ্চিয়ান এভার্ট, ফরেন ট্রেড অ্যাসোসিয়েশন, প্রায় 1600 রিটেইলার এবং ব্র্যান্ডসের প্রতিনিধিত্বকারী সংগঠন, সবচেয়ে বড় সংগঠন বলা যায় ইউরোপে। $850 বিলিয়ন বিজনেস তারা কমান্ড করে। ড্যানিয়েল সাইডেল, তিনি এফটিএ প্রতিনিধি। তারা যেভাবে বাংলাদেশকে দেখলেন, আমাদের ভয়ের তেমন কারণ নেই, আমাদের প্রচুর সম্ভাবনা আছে, তবে কেয়ারফুল হতে হবে এবং সেটা সাস্টেনেবল এবং টেকসই বিজনেস করার জন্যই এগিয়ে যেতে হবে, এটাই তাদের সাজেশন। আমরা আশাবাদী হব, আমরা ক্রিশ্চিয়ানকে পেয়ে খুবই আশাবাদী হওয়ার অনেক কারণও খুঁজে পেলাম। আশাবাদী থাকবোই, প্রত্যাশা রেখে আজ শেষ করলাম। আপনাদের সবাইকে অনেক অনেক ধন্যবাদ।